Discipline is not a chain to bind you. It is the key that unlocks the life you long for. Too often, people wait for inspiration, for a lightning strike of motivation, for a fire that burns so brightly it cannot be ignored. But fire without fuel fades. Inspiration without discipline dies. The strength of a life is not built in moments of passion alone. It is built in the quiet, steady rhythm of daily steps. Consistency is not glamorous. It rarely wins applause. It is the early morning when the world still sleeps, the late night when your body pleads for rest, the decision to rise again when yesterday's efforts bore little fruit. Consistency whispers where motivation shouts, but whispers have more power when they do not stop. Each day, each act, each small choice becomes a brick, and brick by brick you build the life you once only dreamed of. The world teaches us to chase the big, the dramatic, the sudden transformation. But it is not the giant leap that carries us the farthest. It is the countless, faithful steps taken when no one is watching. The runner does not begin with a marathon. The runner begins with a mile, and then another, and then another. The writer does not begin with a masterpiece. The writer begins with a single sentence, then a page, then a chapter. The teacher, the healer, the leader, all of them began with a small act, repeated day after day, until skill became second nature and effort became excellence. Discipline is the soil where dreams take root. Without it, the vision remains shallow, fragile, easily blown away by the winds of distraction. But with discipline, roots grow deep. They hold steady in storms. They nourish the tree until it bears fruit for years to come. Consistency is the daily water, the daily sun, the daily tending. And though the gardener may not see growth every morning, over time the seed becomes a forest. There will be days when the steps feel too small to matter. Days when your progress feels invisible, when you wonder if the effort is worth it. But remember, rivers carve valleys not in a day, but through persistence. Stars shine not once, but every night. The heartbeat itself is nothing but a rhythm, steady and unbroken. And life endures because of its consistency. Some believe greatness is born in moments of triumph. But greatness is born in the unnoticed hours, in the repeated actions, in the steadfast refusal to quit. It is born in the choice to return, again and again, to the task that shapes you. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you long to be. And every small step is a stone laid upon that bridge. You will be tempted by shortcuts, by the desire for speed, by the hunger for immediate reward. But shortcuts cut you short. They rob you of the strength, the wisdom, the character that only steady effort can create. True transformation is slow, but it is lasting. True growth does not rush, but it endures. Consistency does not mean perfection. You will stumble, you will falter, you will miss a step, but discipline calls you back. Discipline says, begin again. The power is not in never falling. It is in rising each time you do. And when you rise, when you choose again, when you take that next step, you prove to yourself that progress is still possible, that your dream is still alive. Small steps every day. That is the rhythm. That is the truth. That is the way mountains are moved, the way lives are changed, the way destinies are written. Not in one grand gesture, but in countless small ones, repeated with faith and with discipline. Discipline is not a punishment. It is not a cage. It is not a sentence of suffering. Discipline is love in action. It is the proof that you care enough about your dream to return to it again and again, even when it does not reward you immediately. It is the voice that whispers, I will keep going, when the easier choice is to stop. It is the rhythm of footsteps that carry you from who you are into who you are becoming. Consistency is the great equalizer. Talent will fade if it is not nourished. Intelligence will remain unused if it is not applied. Passion will burn out if it is not sustained. But consistency, slow, quiet, patient consistency, outlasts them all. It does not sparkle for a moment and vanish. It builds, it layers, it deepens. It is the humble companion of all who achieve lasting greatness. The small steps are not small at all. They are the heartbeat of change. They are the invisible threads that weave together the fabric of success. When you rise early to practice, that is a step. When you write a single page, though your hands are tired, that is a step. When you choose to walk instead of waiting, when you choose to try instead of giving in, that is a step. And each step is a seed. Alone it may seem insignificant, but over time it grows into a forest of results. Too many wait for the grand opportunity, the perfect moment, the dramatic turning point. But life does not change in a single sweeping gesture. Life changes in the daily decision to continue. A body is not strengthened in one day at the gym. It is strengthened in months of repetition, in years of discipline. A mind is not enlightened in one book, but in a lifetime of reading, reflecting, and returning. A life is not transformed by one bold move alone, but by the steady hand that shows up again and again. The world often claps for the moment of triumph but forgets the years of effort that made it possible. They cheer the runner crossing the finish line but do not see the endless mornings of sweat and sore muscles. They admire the singer on the stage but forget the countless hours spent rehearsing in empty rooms. They celebrate the breakthrough but ignore the thousands of small, steady steps that carried someone to that moment. The world celebrates the fruit, but it is the daily watering, the daily tending, the daily pruning that made the fruit possible. There is a discipline in patience, and there is a discipline in faith. You must believe in the power of the small even when you cannot yet see the results. You must trust that the ground is shifting beneath you, even when the mountain does not yet move. A seed does not sprout the day after it is planted. But the gardener does not despair, for the gardener knows growth is happening beneath the soil. You too must trust the unseen. You too must water your dream with action, day after day, believing that the bloom will come in its time. Consistency will test you. It will ask you to rise when you are weary. It will ask you to continue when others have given up. It will ask you to be faithful when no one applauds, when no one notices, when progress feels painfully slow. But those who endure the test of consistency discover a secret: every small act compounds. Every drop fills the jar. Every repetition strengthens the muscle. Every step, no matter how ordinary, is carrying you forward. Do not be fooled into thinking that only great effort counts. A drop of water may seem powerless, but countless drops carve rivers through stone. The tick of a clock is soft, but enough ticks shape hours, and hours shape lifetimes. The steady swing of a hammer may seem repetitive, but in time it splits the rock. In the same way, your repeated actions, your daily discipline, your faithfulness to the small will break through barriers that once felt immovable. There will be voices, both within and around you, that tell you it is not enough, that the steps are too small, the progress too slow, the effort too humble. But remember, mountains are climbed not in leaps but in steps. Books are written not in chapters but in words. Journeys are not completed in a single stride but in countless footprints. Do not let the illusion of speed rob you of the gift of persistence. Discipline is not about perfection. It is not about never failing, never faltering, never missing a day. Discipline is about returning. It is about beginning again and again, even after you stumble. It is about refusing to let failure be your final step. Each time you choose to return, you prove that the dream still matters. Each time you rise again, you prove that the small steps still carry power. When you look at those who have achieved greatness, do not only see their triumph. Look at their daily lives. Look at the habits they cultivated, the hours they invested, the sacrifices they made. The difference between a dreamer and an achiever is not only vision, it is discipline. The achiever is the one who kept going when it was hard, who kept building when no one watched, who kept walking when the path was long. The discipline of consistency shapes character. It teaches you patience. It teaches you humility. It teaches you resilience. For when you are consistent, you learn to endure discomfort. You learn to push through boredom. You learn to work without applause. And in that process you discover a deeper strength within yourself. You learn that greatness is not only about talent or brilliance, it is about faithfulness. There will be seasons when your effort feels wasted, when the results are invisible, when the dream seems far away. But remember this: the work you do in silence, in faith, in discipline, is never wasted. It is preparing you. It is shaping you. It is building something within you that cannot be taken away. And one day the world will see what you built in the dark. One day the fruit will appear. One day the harvest will come. Consistency is freedom. It frees you from the weight of procrastination, from the burden of regret, from the prison of what if. For every small step you take, you silence the voice of doubt. You prove to yourself that you are capable. You build a record of action that no one can take from you. And in that record lies your power. The discipline of consistency is not only about achieving dreams. It is about becoming. Every small step shapes you. Every repeated action molds you. Every choice to continue builds a new version of you. Stronger, steadier, braver. And in the end, that is the true reward. Not only that you reached the destination, but that you became the kind of person who could. So let the world chase the quick fix. Let them hunger for shortcuts. You take the steady path. You choose the daily step. You Honor the discipline that turns weakness into strength and vision into reality. The journey is long, but you are capable of walking it. The steps are many, but you are strong enough to take them. And each day, each choice, each act of discipline carries you closer to the life that is waiting for you. Discipline will not always feel like fire. More often, it feels like ash. It feels like waking before the sun when no one else stirs. It feels like turning the page when the mind says stop. It feels like lacing your shoes again when your body aches for rest. It feels like silence, like repetition, like invisibility. But hidden in those ordinary hours is the extraordinary. Hidden in the quiet grind is the golden thread that binds today's effort to tomorrow's triumph. There is a false belief that discipline drains joy, that it strips life of its color, that it demands too much sacrifice. But the truth is, discipline creates freedom. It is the daily practice that makes skill second nature, so you no longer struggle with what once seemed impossible. It is the steady rhythm that clears space for growth, for mastery, for excellence. It is not the enemy of joy, it is the foundation of it. For joy is found not in drifting without purpose, but in knowing you are walking with intention, in knowing that each step, however small, is shaping the life you long for. Those who refuse discipline live at the mercy of moods. When energy comes, they move. When it fades, they stop. Their lives are tossed like leaves in the wind. But those who honor discipline build anchors. They rise not because they feel like it, but because they promised themselves they would. They move not because the day is easy, but because they are committed to something greater than ease. They refuse to bow to the whims of emotion, and in that refusal they discover strength. The discipline of consistency is often lonely. It will take you into spaces where others do not follow. Friends may call you rigid. Strangers may call you obsessive. The world may call you strange. But greatness has always seemed strange to those who choose comfort. And what they call strange today, they will call remarkable tomorrow. For when the results of your consistency begin to bloom, the same voices that doubted will ask how you did it. And your answer will be simple: I kept going. There is no act too small to matter. Each repetition lays a foundation. Each choice builds a wall. Each return strengthens the muscle of discipline. A pianist's fingers stumble not once but thousands of times before they glide with ease. A builder lays one stone, then another, until the city rises. A speaker stumbles through countless words before their voice carries power. And so it is with you. Each act is practice. Each day is preparation. Each step, however ordinary, is necessary. Do not despise the slowness. The world is addicted to speed. It worships instant results, instant recognition, instant glory. But what comes quickly often fades quickly. What grows overnight withers in the morning sun. True strength is forged in time. True mastery is sculpted in patience. True greatness is the harvest of seasons, not moments. When you honor consistency, you align yourself with the rhythm of creation itself. The ocean does not rush its waves. The moon does not hurry its rising. The earth spins in perfect rhythm, day by day, without pause, without hurry. Nature itself honors consistency. There will be days when you feel invisible, when the work is unnoticed, when the dream feels far away. But invisibility is not emptiness, it is incubation. Just as a seed breaks beneath the soil unseen, just as roots deepen before branches spread, so too is your effort working even when the world does not see. Trust the hidden growth. Trust the silent progress. Trust that your small steps are building something you cannot yet measure. And when fatigue comes, and it will, remember why you began. Remember the vision that stirred your heart, the hunger that woke you in the night, the picture of who you longed to be. Let that memory be your fuel. For discipline is not sustained by obligation alone, it is sustained by love. Love for the dream, love for the person you are becoming, love for the life that is waiting beyond the horizon. Consistency does not make life easier, it makes you stronger. It does not remove obstacles, it teaches you to climb them. It does not erase fear, it teaches you to walk with it. And in time, you will look back and see that what once felt heavy has become light, what once felt impossible has become natural. That is the gift of discipline. It transforms the hard into habit, the struggle into strength. Each day you show up is proof that you are not giving up. Each step you take is evidence that you believe in yourself. And belief, when matched with action, is unstoppable. The world cannot deny the one who refuses to quit. The universe itself bends toward persistence. Mountains shift, doors open, paths appear for those who keep walking. So honor the small steps. Do not dismiss them, do not ignore them, do not curse them for their slowness. Celebrate them. For they are your companions, your builders, your quiet allies. They will carry you when passion fades. They will sustain you when strength feels thin. They will remind you day by day that progress is not a sprint but a pilgrimage. And when the day comes, and it will, when the fruit of your labor bursts forth, when the harvest is ready, when the world finally sees what you have been building, you will know the truth. It was not one great leap that carried you here. It was not one moment of brilliance. It was not one stroke of luck. It was the steps, the small, daily, faithful steps. Do not wait for greatness to arrive in a single moment. Build it, day by day, with the choices you make, with the steps you take, with the discipline you refuse to abandon. Let your consistency be the proof that you believed in yourself when no one else did. Let it be the voice that says you are not afraid of small beginnings. You are not afraid of steady work. You are not afraid to climb one step at a time. For in the end, it is not talent alone, not luck alone, not inspiration alone that shapes destiny. It is the quiet courage to keep going. And if you dare to honor that discipline, if you dare to take those small steps every day, you will not only reach your dream, you will become it.